I've got approximately 15 minutes to film this video, as long as it takes for me to finish this test. I just wanted to have a chat to you guys about what's been going on. I have to do this because I'm about to visit my parents in an aged care facility. Ironically, or sadly, I've actually seen one of the residents just be transported to hospital just now. As I drove into the car park here, there was a lady who the paramedics put in an ambulance, and obviously they're taking her to hospital. This was not meant to be on my dance card. This was not what the tarot card reading said. The fortune teller never told me that. Although it's kind of the time of life that in my 50s that I would be in a position where I would be spending my weekends visiting both of my parents in an aged care facility. Yes, they're getting older, and I knew that at some point that this was a possibility, but I just never thought that both of them would be in a situation where they both needed care like this. I always imagined, like with everybody else, that they would grow old in their own home, and one day hopefully they would just pass silently in their sleep when it was their time. But alas, that is not the case, and we find ourselves in this predicament right now. As a living organism, we all kind of have our use by date or an expiry date, and we get to a certain point in life where things start to break down. It's like everything else, wear and tear, living, the food you eat, the stress you're under, the job you have, the illnesses that you've had in your earlier days. All of this stuff catches up, and ultimately and eventually things happen and we get sick. What I've been thinking about lately, and in fact I've been thinking about this a lot, is the fact that having seen what my parents are going through right now, and if I can give you a quick origin story, basically my parents and I came to Australia when I was about 7 years of age. So at that time we said goodbye to everyone we knew except for one member of my dad's family, his sister, who lives in Australia. But we said goodbye to everything we knew. I said goodbye to all my friends, my family, my grandparents, my uncles, my aunt, and it was a really sad time. I never really wanted to leave Hong Kong. My parents obviously wanted to leave because it was at the time where everyone was starting to get worried that when the 99-year British kind of occupation, I wouldn't use the word occupation, but you know what I mean, when the 99-year thing with the British was ending, and everyone was worried that China was going to turn Hong Kong into a mess and just take it for themselves, and it was going to become like a communist place. So my parents wanted the best for us, and to that end they made the move to immigrate to Australia. Like, there are good things that have happened when I've been here, but they worked their asses off. You got immigrant family, came here with barely anything. I remember we were having rabbit stew when we first came, staying with my uncle and my aunt. And at that time, rabbit was really cheap, so that's why we had rabbit. It's not like it's a posh thing now where it's a delicacy. It was the cheapest meat we could have. And we skimped on everything. My parents, to this day, skimp on everything. Even when we went on vacation, we went to the cheapest hotels. We ate the cheapest food. We tried to get discounts of everything. My dad, he used to work for an airline, so basically we flew at 10%, so that's how we got the cheap flights. And we literally just skimmed on everything. We would rarely do anything that's extravagant. We certainly wouldn't spend a lot of money on clothes and stuff like that. And I even remember when I was in high school, and I used to sit in the back of the car. Dad used to drive into the city because my mum went to law school. At night, she did a full-time job, looked after me, and still had the desire and determination to become a fully fledged lawyer. And she actually went to law school. She was scared of a lot of stuff. She didn't want to do the torts where you had to go into court and pretend you're arguing cases. That used to stress her out and cause her a lot of anxiety, but she did it anyway. And I always kind of thought when I was growing up that my parents really, I don't mean this in a looking back, and I think like I don't mean this in a way where it's like I wish I thought that then, but I actually thought it then, is that I kind of thought, hey, these guys, they're spending so much time and energy trying to save money, trying to make ends meet, and trying to skimp on every cent. I just wondered, why didn't they spend some money on themselves? If there was a new phone they wanted to go on a vacation, they wanted a nice dinner, if they wanted nice clothes, why didn't they just go and do it? I didn't understand why they wanted to skimp on everything. And it's only now that all these things have transpired. They're both now in an aged care facility, and they're not actually able to use any of this money that they've worked so hard to accumulate, they've worked so hard to earn. Basically, all of this now is all this money that they've saved up is going to this place and paying for their basic care. And this is a really sad thing. The sad thing is they didn't get the option or the choice. Like, everybody's dream is retire with enough money to enjoy your retirement, go traveling, go do stuff for yourself. Neither of my parents got the opportunity to do that. My dad lost his sight, and that's pretty much why he had to stop working, because he basically couldn't see anymore. My mom, she knew that she was losing her memory. She knew she wouldn't want any of us to know. She tried to hide it. She refused to get any medical care. And the reason that she stopped working was because her memory failed her. And it's like they've both retired now. They're both theoretically of a chronological age where they could still go travel, still enjoy stuff. I know COVID has sucked and it's screwed everything up and it's ruined a lot of plans for a lot of people. But they were still of a chronological age where they could go out, they could travel a little bit, they could enjoy nice food, they could have reunions with their family and all that kind of thing. And they didn't get to do any of it. So basically, they worked like a dog, they saved like a dog, they retired, they didn't get to spend any of their money, they didn't get to have any enjoyment, and now they're stuck. And both of them are in a condition where medically their stuff is not reversible and it can only get worse from here. And when I think about this a lot, and I've been doing a lot of thinking recently, is that, what am I doing? Like, do I want to follow the footsteps of my parents where you work really hard forever, and then when you finally reach an age where you can theoretically retire, hopefully with enough money that you can sustain yourself and your family, you get sick, you can't enjoy anything, then you die? That's a reality that every single one of us has to come to terms with, is what happens after we stop working. There are people who are, I guess, fortunate enough that they can stop working in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and they have a lot more, theoretically, a lot more time to enjoy themselves before potential health disasters await them. Most people don't have that choice. Most people have to work until they're no longer able to work, because money's not easy, everything's going up in costs, and a lot of people aren't born fortunate enough to inherit something, to have a silver spoon in their mouth, to win the lotto, to come across some massive investment opportunity where they could actually afford to put their money into it, and then they can make 10, 100x their money. Most people don't get that opportunity, and most of us just work. And I just don't know how long I can keep doing that for. You know, people tell me that I'm in a really prestigious occupation. I'm a doctor, and I get to help people. And with that, hopefully you get a good level of income, but money isn't everything. I don't earn a lot. I earn enough, but I don't earn like so much that I can retire after 2 years. It's like medicine, being a doctor is not as fun for a lot of us, and it's not as easy as a lot of people make out to be. It's not just a matter of going to work, treating people, feeling good about yourself, coming home with a massive paycheck, and then living the rest of your life, because it doesn't work that way. Medicine is pretty much a 24/7 thing, because when we're not at work, when we're not in the hospital, we're working on our skills. We bring home, I know we shouldn't, but we bring home a lot of baggage from the hospitals. We bring home a lot of baggage from seeing really, really unwell patients, and it's hard not to feel bad that there are people who you try to help who you can't help. There are people you try to help who actually die, and you feel bad about the family and the relatives that you get to meet and speak to. Like, it's not easy. And I just don't want to get to the point where I get to a stage where I'm physically incapable of doing. I have so many things that I still want to do. I want to make a real go of this YouTube thing. I want to be able to go places with my family. I want to enjoy my kids. They're growing up so fast. I want to spend time with my puppy. I don't want to do this forever. Like, people will say, oh, you're a doctor, why would you give this up? This is your occupation. You're helping people. You're being selfish. You're thinking about yourself if you quit. But if I can't help myself, how on earth am I meant to dedicate my life and dedicate my time and dedicate my energy and actually want to help other people? It's like being here, sitting in the car, thinking about what's going to happen when I go into this place, seeing how bad my parents are going to be, seeing the fact that they look sad, that they somehow deep inside wish that they weren't here. And then some ways I think like it's almost like they blame me for being in here. And I know they don't, but it almost feels like that they do. That is super shit. Every time I come here, I try to put on a brave face. I try not to be annoyed at stuff. But when I leave, I feel pretty shitty. I feel like, why? What have they done to be in this position where they're no longer able to enjoy anything like this? They're in a position where they should be out there. They should be going on cruises. They should be flying to Europe and America and enjoying their holidays. They shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be sat here having to be looked after by nurses that's a reality. And I know that I say it to myself all the time, but I'm going to do everything I possibly can to not, in this situation, to not follow their footsteps. Because I want to be able to enjoy myself. I want to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labors. I work bloody hard. Like, people don't think I work hard just because I'm not a specialist. I work bloody hard, and sometimes I feel like I work harder than some of the specialists. I feel like when I go to work, I'm a firefighter. I feel like I go to work to try and fix other people's problems. But I haven't fixed my problems. I haven't been able to fix the way I feel. I've been feeling like this for a while now, but since I got sick with COVID, and even a little bit before that, when my health started to suffer a little bit, I've been feeling really shitty about what I've been doing. I feel like, is there better things to do than to do this grind? Like, Sunday night, Sunday night is great, isn't it? I so don't enjoy Sunday night because I know where I need to go on Monday morning. It's not a slur on the place I go to. I'm not hating on that just one place, but I'm just hating the thing in general. And I don't think that by quitting my job, moving to a different place of work, but doing the same stuff, it's going to make any difference to the way I feel. A lot of people say, maybe it's environment. It's not the environment. It's what's in your soul. And my soul's telling me that I have to find things that fill it with joy and happiness. It's getting hot in here, so I've just had to turn the AC on. And good news is still negative, although I wasn't going to expect that I was positive considering that I've only had it 3 or 4 weeks ago. But you know what I mean? I need to do stuff to fulfill my heart and my soul, and to look after myself so that I can look after my family and the people I care about, and also to potentially look after patients. Right now, it's like I'm going through the motions. I go to work, I try to do my very best, but part of my heart's not in it. Part of my heart is wishing that I was doing something else. Part of my heart is wishing, when I'm with a patient, that I am here making videos for YouTube, because I'm far more passionate about what I'm doing right here on this, looking at this camera and talking to you. I'm far more passionate about that right now than I am about any aspect of medicine. And that's scary, isn't it? It scares the shit out of me. And I'm the type of person that I know I'm going to do my very best. This is not going to make me not give a shit about the people that I'm looking after at work. But I keep going back, it's a recurrent theme of this video, is that I'm looking after everybody else, but who's looking after me? So that's the plan, that's the goal, not only for the rest of this year, but forever, is that Derek needs to come first. Derek needs to look after himself so that Derek has the energy and the ability and the spiritual capacity to start looking after somebody else. Anyway, I'm going to go see my parents and check on them, and then I've got a whole bunch of chores to do when I get home. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And if any of this stuff resonates with you, please leave a comment below, because I know there are people who are in a similar situation to me and they feel scared, they feel worried about what's in the future. They may have parents who are in this situation, or they're just worried about parents who are potentially going to end up in this situation. You don't know what to do. Leave a comment and let's chat. Thank you. See ya. Catch you in the next video. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye.